Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 185th episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week we have a really interesting question that we're addressing, which is, would you ever have plastic surgery? But before we dive deep into that conversation, let's go through a couple of things. First, have you downloaded the episode on WokeNFree.com through the Podbean app? If not, please do immediately. Why? Because that's the best way for you to join the conversation. When you download the app, then you have the ability to put in your comments, and we've had some really interesting comments. We've had some really good comments, and we want to see what your comment is going to be for this week. So make sure you do that. Next, if you're like, Tosh, Khalil, like, we love you, we want you, we need you, right back at you, boo. But for some reason, you're not able to download the app. That's okay. All that we ask is that you go to WokeNFree.com and go in the listen tab and make sure that you subscribe and follow to the show on whichever platform you're catching this on. So for instance, if you are a fan of listening to us on iTunes, yay, we have a lot of Apple supporters there. TuneIn, for instance, as well. Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Pandora. We're so many different places. It's been so amazing to be able to get the word out about the show. So make sure that you are followed and subscribed on any of those places amongst all the other ones that were there. Now, of course, another really nifty thing you can do is when you go to WokeNFree.com, on the homepage, you can subscribe to our show via email. And why do you want to do this? A, you'll get email notifications for every single weekly new episode. So make sure you do that because super easy to forward that email onto your friends and family and also encourage them to sign up. So yay, join and expand the WokeNFree family. Now, of course, on social media, you can always holler at us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. Yes, I said TikTok, and Pinterest at WokeNFree. And then, of course, if you have 90 seconds, well, you know, we still are dealing with COVID-19. So I and Khalil probably think you probably have 90 seconds. So with that, you can do lots of things. You've heard some of our suggestions before. Today, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the WokeNFree.com listen tab, and you're going to pick a platform of your choice to review the show at. And that would be really, really helpful because we've enjoyed our 5-star reviews on Apple and iTunes, right? So that's like, why not get more?
Is that too much, though?
I mean, is it ever really too much, to be honest and amazing?
Okay. If you put it like that.
Yeah, you know, why not? And with that, I pass the baton to you, sir.
I'm going to get ready to pass the baton to you, I guess.
Cool.
And we jump into something kind of a plasticky nature.
Interesting transition. Interesting. Go with that.
Because batons are usually made of plastic.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
And this episode goes even deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Did you want me to ask the question then?
No. My question is, why do people have plastic surgery?
So indeed, this is a good one to ask. Personally, I feel that people want to gain acceptance by changing their outward appearance. I think they feel by getting the enhancement, their life will be easier than keeping their current physical appearance. But there are actually some legitimate use cases for plastic surgery, but I'm actually referring to the optional cosmetic type here, not the reconstructive surgery that people will often undergo. Okay. So I came across a blog post by a doctor named Dr. Vintineus, I believe is how you say it. It's a 2017 blog post article that actually broke down different reasons why people get plastic surgery. And it goes as follows. So reason number 1, because of an injury. So one common reason why people decide to have cosmetic or plastic surgery is to correct a deformity or defect caused by an injury. So that seems legit, similar to what you were saying outside of you were saying you were not referring to reconstructive. Yeah.
Well, this falls within that, right?
Technically this is like a reconstructive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something bad happened or not ideal happened, and now you're doing something to correct the situation. So that makes sense. Reason number 2, because of health issues. So health concerns or issues or other common reasons why people seek out surgery. Nasal surgery or rhinoplasty is a common procedure for people with health issues. And I myself definitely have I think we both have a deviated septum.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was told that if that was something I wanted to pursue, I could. And it's like, nose job. Interesting. Definitely not ruling it out completely, but not necessarily getting it today. Another reason would be to change something they don't like. So if you don't, not necessarily like injury or health issue, but maybe for some other reason, like maybe there's just something you don't like about your body, people, even if there's no medical reason to change it, people still pursue this avenue to be able to, similar to, I guess, what you were saying, which is to create or recreate an appearance for themselves. And maybe it's for acceptance or other types of reasoning behind that. But that's another reason. And then I love this one, reason 4, which is to look younger.
Wow.
This seems to be very much the foothold for many folks in Hollywood, because a lot of our celebrities definitely have this kind of frozen look in time situation going on, which is interesting, taking off years off their appearance. And then the other reason listed in the blog post is to feel more confident. It goes on to say, one last reason people choose to have surgery, it can help them feel more confident and give them a boost of self-esteem. Whether you're having a procedure to fix an injury, correct a health problem, or change something you've long been unhappy with, at the end of the process, once your results are visible, you'll likely to feel happier and more in control of your body. That sentence to me seems really loaded. You'll feel happier? I think you might enjoy the new appearance you have in a specific time period, right? Because our emotions are not stagnant, they change. And hopefully that you like how the surgery turned out. Sometimes you can go for surgery and not actually like the outcome. So I think that that's just a loaded statement there. But
you can become happy because of the newfound attention of your surgery. I think
you'd have to speak to psychologists to really dive deep into the emotional connection between our physical appearance and our emotional state of being. I think that that's it's a broad stroke statement there.
Yeah, you could be unhappy because of the surgery as well.
Exactly, because it's also a change of your identity. So
there's many ways you could feel.
It's not a guarantee that changing your identity makes you happier.
That's true.
It's a change in circumstance for sure, but remains to be seen.
All right, those are definitely some valid reasons about why people get plastic surgery. But we've got to ask, would you ever have plastic surgery?
So growing up, and even to today, right? Like, so growing up, I would say vanity was definitely something that was very big and prominent in my household. And unfortunately, I wish I could say, I have overcome being vain. Like, not necessarily. Like, I think every time I get a pimple, a blemish, how I struggle with that. And not to say that I think I'm in any way perfect or in any way ideal, but it is, I struggle with physical appearance, my own physical appearance, and wanting to, I don't know, I guess, be in a state where it feels like you have perfection, but you don't have perfection, because my entire life I've always struggled with weight. I've always struggled with things about my body, stretch marks, scars, right? Like things like that. So the idea of plastic surgery was something that I definitely romanticized when I was younger. Currently at 34 years old, I would say I wouldn't knock it out of the park as a no, but being a mom to be, and I'm, really excited to have our son this summer, it creates another complication, because I would not want to go through any procedure that could threaten my life and take me away from to be one of the most important people I'll ever make and know in my life, which will be our son. So I would say, if I needed to, right? Yes. And if I didn't need to, probably not. But
if you need to, what does that mean?
Meaning, like, if you never know what could happen in life, right? So
if you need a reconstructive surgery,
or like maybe, because I do have a lot of congestion issues, maybe if my deviated septum, like, that would be the only way to make my nose, like, allow me to breathe again out of my nose, then maybe I would go for that, right?
So but that's not a need. That's still a want. It's optional.
Only if a doctor was like, yes, the reason why you will never be able to breathe unless you get that fixed, then to me that seems like a need, because I struggle. To breathe. Well, no, I can't breathe out of my nose. I can't, actually, my nose is clogged.
You can't breathe out of your nose.
Like, I can't, the air doesn't come out. Like, it's completely clogged. The entire nasal cavity.
It's impossible, because you can smell things.
I can smell
So that
things.
means your
I'm really
nasal
talented,
passage.
though.
No, it means you're being dramatic, and the nasal passage is indeed open.
Are you mansplaining on air? Is that what you're?
No,
is that what you're suggesting?
You told me literally your nasal passage was clogged, yet you're able to smell everything within 30-mile radius.
You're so trifling.
Like,
See,
I mean,
you're trying to play me, though?
Is
Like,
that some extraterrestrial
I'm your wife,
stuff,
huh?
or what?
Yeah.
I'm talking to a person who would answer this question and not be direct about
So all
the
I
answer.
have to say is happy wife, happy life. So just keep that in context when you're speaking with your partners, guys.
I'm just trying to keep this woken free.
Oh, okay.
That's
Well, I
all was trying to
appreciate
do.
that, but I careful with mansplaining. Careful.
Okay. I was trying to womansplain instead.
Oh,
I was trying to.
How progressive of you.
Yeah, see? I like to be inclusive in my speech.
So the answer is I would be open to it, but I'm also open to living my life, scars and stretch marks aside, and never having it. But I'm not going to kick it out of the park as a no, but it's a maybe for me.
So
what
you're
about
open
you?
for it. Complete opposite. I would never have it. I'd rather work towards a new look than use an artificial method to gain a certain look.
That's a judgmentally loaded sentence, but okay.
Okay. And then, I mean, I'm just saying what it is, because I know if we didn't look at the numbers here, but if we look at what's the most plastic surgery done on, I mean, it'd be interesting if we go and look what type of plastic surgery is really being done. Where is all those big bucks being spent? You mean
butts?
Hey-o. I just think anything that I want, that could all be achieved through hard work. So there's nothing I would get done that would require artificial means. But that's just for me. But I'm coming from a man's point of view. If I was a woman, I understand, because how society treats women. You gotta have a certain look. Men, though, we can look like anything we want. It doesn't matter.
Okay, well, we're diving deep here into something different.
Yeah, I'm saying there's just lower expectations for men. So that's one thing that helps in my decision making.
Okay, fair enough.
Now you can tell me what are the pros and cons to having plastic surgery.
All right, so on this website called mentalhelp.net, and again, if you're new to WokeNFree, welcome. You'll also be able to find the links that we kind of share and utilize in our episodes, because we want everyone to be able to have access to these resources as well. And this website talks to the pros and cons, and this particular page talks to the pros and cons about cosmetic surgery from a psychologist viewpoint. So I thought that was actually interesting. So let's go through this. Pros listed as the following: cosmetic surgery can improve appearance and benefit a person on a superficial level. Wowzers.
See, call me judgmental.
2, confidence can be improved by altering the attitude of the person having surgery. Some people need very little to jumpstart their image of themselves in a positive direction, and tweaking their physical appearance can be the boost that they need in order to see themselves differently. It's not just about the surgery itself, though. There is a change in attitude that helps the transformation. Interesting. Number 3, cosmetic surgery helps people to feel more accepted by others and less inferior to some degree. So you kind of spoke to that earlier in the episode. Yeah. Now, cons listed on the page are as follows. Cosmetic surgery can make someone feel less confident, as they will always be thinking that others like a fake version of themselves, or this is not the true reflection as nature intended. And it could lead to a person feeling even less in tune with themselves. Interesting. And they are likely to wonder whether people would still like them if they knew them pre-surgery.
True.
So this change in identity situation. Okay. Number 2, cosmetic surgery deals solely with aesthetics and does nothing for the emotional and mental aspects of a person. This can leave a person feeling even more lost than before the surgery. So again, this change in identity is external only, not internal. So how do you deal with the internal changes needed in life to feel more satisfied and happy? Number 3, complications of surgery. There's always a risk when you undergo surgery. Of course. So I spoke to that as well. And then ultimately, the article goes on to say, there is no right or wrong here. Cosmetic surgery is an individual choice. Some people swear that it has changed their lives for the better, whilst others feel that they've had unrealistic expectations of how cosmetic surgery could change their lives. It won't make people love you any more than they already do. And if it does, then those people are incredibly shallow, and it won't make you the most popular person at the party. Make sure that you are doing it for the right reasons, to please yourself and improve upon yourself, not to fit in with others or fit the ideals of others.
You're listening to WokeNFree. WokeNFree.
WokeNFree. WokeNFree.
WokeNFree.
The podcast that always keeps it real and keeps it honest.
Easier said than done, right? It depends on the community. It depends on your industry. I think people get deeply pressured, right? If you're in the public eye, you are under such incredible scrutiny. It is really challenging to say to someone, hey, you're being watched 24/7. It doesn't matter what you look like. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. I think
definitely.
Yes, that is the standard, that you should definitely choose to be fully free in all of your glory. But I understand when people don't necessarily come to that realization for themselves. And we have to be a little bit, give each other grace and understand, wow, this person, they're getting the dark circles under the eyes. They're seeing the crow's feet, the wrinkles, the graying hair. I understand it. It makes sense that you want to change things up. You want to lift the girls. If you know what girls we're talking about, I know my girls could use a good lift. That belly, that stapling that belly looks real good, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different cool, nifty things that one could do to.
But there's alternatives.
Get it tight, get it right.
Though. Some of those have all easy alternatives.
But even for those who do weight loss surgery and have the extra skin left over, right?
Yeah, I understand.
There's nothing that can be done unless you cut it off.
Yeah, but it's different when you say, well, I could get rid of this naturally, or I could have it sucked out of me. That's different.
It's a personal choice, though.
Yeah, it's fine.
We want to give people
the right
choice to do what they want to do with their bodies.
But there's reasons that there's risk associated with it, too. It's not...
Of course. It's not risk-free.
Yeah, and it's more riskier than the alternative of losing that same weight. So that's all that I'll put out there for that, at least. Mm-hmm. And I also found an article, and it was from environmentalconscience.com, and they list some pros and cons. Some of these overlap with yours, but I'll list them all because some of them were different too. Mm-hmm. So they list it covers your flaws as a pro. Mm-hmm. It makes you look younger. Mm. Your quality of life may increase. We've kind of hinted at that.
Interesting.
Now, a newer one is it can improve your job opportunities.
100%.
Which is, it's the 100%. Definite truth because people will judge you based off your looks.
Prettier people have an easier way to get in life, especially with jobs. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that was one. And then they said it can help you find a partner.
Well, so that's gets true a little bit dangerous, though, because
it's dangerous, but it is true.
Would your partner love you pre-surgery?
Well, that's hard to say, yeah.
Be like, sure, but I'm so glad you look like this now.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you look like before, but I like you like this.
Yeah, you popping right now.
Just don't go back to that previous look if it doesn't look like this. That's what the person would say.
That's challenging.
And if you start to change, remember, get some more surgery, and then you'll be in my good graces again. I mean, that's how some people feel. And this is a cool one. I don't know how this works. I'd have to learn more about it, but it can improve your vision.
Oh, maybe through eye surgery or something like that.
That's not plastic surgery.
I mean, but that's cosmetic surgery, though. Because if it's not,
does that fall into? Because so it's like if you get LASIK, is that considered cosmetic surgery? That's eye surgery. I don't think that falls into the same category.
But if it's not required, like cosmetic,
because it's like a plastic surgeon can't do
no.
Eye surgery. So that's why I don't know if they're talking about LASIK or if they're talking about something else. Like
they might be talking about LASIK, but yeah.
Yes, but it's listed there though as a pro, so that was interesting. Mm-hmm. For the cons, they listed. We haven't talked about it yet, but it can be expensive. That's a real thing.
Absolutely, yeah. The financial cost.
There's a good cost of plastic surgery. Mm-hmm. It can be painful. That recovery period, and you'll be bloated or whatever you're going through. You can get like swelling, infections. That's pretty tough. The results may be temporary. That's definitely true.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Mistakes are actually common in this field.
I mean, isn't there a whole show about like botched surgery?
Yeah, there's a there's a show called Botch. So there you go. There's a whole show just surrounding the mistakes. The plastic surgery can be addicting. So once you get one, you got to keep getting more. Just keep going.
Good, you want more of it, yeah.
Yeah. Then this was funny. I mean, I might fall into this category, but not on purpose. But people may make fun of you.
That's horrible.
And it's true though, because you know those people that go overboard, and we've seen.
Careful.
We're not going to name any names, but it's you can. We talk about there's such thing as too much of a good thing.
Yes.
And we've talked about that. There's a limit to things.
Quickly move forward.
Oh, so don't even give an example of what I would mean.
No.
Oh, all right.
Because I know you're just going to refer to cat people.
No, I wasn't going to refer to that. I was going to actually refer to men that get like the fake biceps put in, and the biceps bigger than their.
But see, some people might not
abdomen.
think that that's. They might not think that that's overboard, but I definitely.
But what if it's bigger than your whole body, your bicep?
I don't know if I've seen people that.
Okay, I'll show you the pictures.
I don't want to see those pictures.
I think you may have sent it to me. You forgot about them.
Oh, I do remember.
Do you remember?
What you're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, that was so interesting.
It was crazy. That's what I'm saying. And
it was interesting.
And that's where you get people may make fun of you.
Okay, well.
Not that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying.
Well, it's definitely
that is
wrong.
A true statement.
We shouldn't be making fun of anyone. We should just have grace for each other. You can wish
say,
people
bless your heart.
And
bless your heart.
Careful, but yes.
Oh, well, not bless your heart.
I'll pray for you. You know,
you can't say bless your heart.
I mean, but that's a Southern phrase that is not quite as loving as it sounds.
Oh, okay, all right. If you say so. Mm-hmm. It can actually make you look worse after cosmetic surgery. That's a con.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you know. And I alluded to it, but there's risk for infections and scars.
Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely.
So, the cons list to me, makes me
a
make a decision.
List. It is a heavy list.
My decision is set on the cons because those pros don't seem that great, but improved job opportunities.
That's pretty cool.
That's a life-changing thing, right?
And again, if you get it and it makes you feel like your identity, like you feel better with who you are and you feel like you can go after your dreams, like that's an incredible win and that's an incredible pro. So we definitely don't want to put it in a place where it's like, just because, you and I might sway more to the cons, the pros are not validated. Like those are valid reasons as well. So at the end of the day, I think what we stand for is individuality, and we support people who come to terms with who they are in this world and they own it unapologetically. So if cosmetic plastic surgery is a part of your journey of being your most woken free self, then do you. If it is not, that's okay too.
And you should also have the option of not telling people you had the plastic surgery.
Oh,
and pretend that you got this way naturally.
Yeah, we promote the idea that you don't have to explain yourself to anyone in this world. So if someone asks you, again, woken free, you should lie to them. No, and tell woken free I'm all natural. Is not about being woken free. Is not about lying. It's about being yourself authentically. So if someone directly asks you, if you feel like addressing the comment or the question, then you should. If you don't, then you say, that's a fun question, but I don't feel like answering it and I don't have to. Ha ha ha. And you move on.
Don't address the question then. You can either tell the truth or not address the question.
You're not required to explain yourself at all.
That's true. No, I agree with that.
Yeah,
of course.
So you're not required to answer that question. No.
All right, but at least I just like that people won't or shouldn't lie about.
Of course, if you're woken free, you're not lying. That's ridiculous. Yeah.
That's good. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? It's scenario time, guys. Scenario number 1. Shatroya is a go-go dancer who is looking for ways to earn more tips. She came upon a social media influencer who teaches a course on how to enhance your buttocks. Shatroya also was connected with a surgeon who could give her a Brazilian butt lift where fat is taken from the abdomen or thighs and grafted to your butt. Should she take the more expensive course with the social media influencer or just go with the cheaper Brazilian butt lift surgery?
Oh, what an interesting dilemma to be in. So the course is more expensive than the surgery. Okay. So, and the course is natural remedies only, right? Okay. So this is going to be, this comes down to whether this dancer is financially can afford the surgery versus going with the course versus the surgery. And also in life, can you live with that, right? Like you always have to be able to live with your decision. So if she went with the surgery, could she live with that decision regardless of the risks and the challenges that can come with that surgery? If so, then you're welcome to do that. If not, then go ante up and do the course. But my personal recommendation would be to do the course first, because I think it's always cool to try natural, more holistic methods than to just go down the route there of, I'm just going to, do something more cosmetic or plastic surgery involved, because at least then you can at least try the natural method and see if it worked. And even if it is more expensive, it could be a fruitful experience. So that's what I would recommend.
All right. And I'm biased on this because I'm against butt enhancements. So I say definitely go with the course from the influencer.
So I think you meant to say, instead of you're against it, that you recommend.
I said I'm biased.
Yes, but that you shouldn't say you're against. People are entitled to their lifestyle choices, Khalil.
They're what?
Their lifestyle choices.
Yeah, but I don't have to agree with it.
But you don't have to be against them.
Then what else is there? I mean, you can be neutral to it.
Yes.
Or I could just bless their heart.
Yes.
I just told you how it is.
So we both vote for the course. Okay.
Yeah, that's where I go. Because and I just think the course makes more sense because it's something that you can keep going back to if you want to build your butt up more or whatever. It's something that lasts a lifetime easier compared to the other way. I like how
emphasized you say when you say buttocks.
Yeah.
Like it's a real thing for you. It's like a real
Not for me, it's a real thing for society. Not for me, though.
Thank God I have a real one. Dimples and all.
Yes.
Yes.
Scenario 2. Firuza wants to try and lose weight off her stomach without dieting or exercise. She can get some leftover flat tummy tea from her girlfriends, but she wants a long-term solution. Would liposuction help her reach her tiny waist goals?
The dilemma of so many of us, really. Yeah. So unfortunately, I've yet to discover this. And guys, if you have, please put it in the comments. There are rare times in life where you can get an outcome or something that you want with doing nothing. Very rare situations. I've yet to stumble upon this for myself or anyone I've worked with as a coach or in my career. So if you have found this kind of magical truth or wisdom in life, please put that in the comments. But in this scenario, if she is actually committed to having a flat stomach, then she is going to have to do something, and it is definitely going to require dieting and exercise, not or. And so she needs to ante up and put her mouth where her money is and her money where her mouth is, and not get the flat tea, but actually create a schedule for herself and work out and watch what you're eating and work with the people who can help her get that done. And the flat tummy tea, again, we don't know the brand. We don't, we can't recommend or go against any particular product. People are entitled to do and take whatever they want, but you do want to be mindful of, taking over leftover things. I think you want to make sure you do your research if you are taking a product that you feel comfortable with that decision, because again, sometimes products kill us. So just be careful where, when you go down that route. But what do you recommend?
All right. You would probably not expect it, but I would say if her goals are temporary, she should do the liposuction because it's a quick thing. It might be a temporary, but at least she got to her goals for the summer, probably.
Oh, that does surprise me. Interesting. Yeah. So just give up hope, huh?
Yeah, I mean, just temporarily. And then if she wants a long-term thing, then she's going to have to change her ways.
So she gets the lipo, she gets the flat belly, and then she has burgers all summer, and then we're back to square one.
And then she can decide from there if she wants to. Sounds like a plan. Yeah. So she probably shouldn't do the lipo again, but at that point, she can decide to diet or exercise or both. Because I would tell her that real abs are made in the kitchen, but I don't know if she's looking for abs or just a tiny waist. And if she's looking for a tiny waist, the liposuction is the easiest way to go.
Dilemmas in life.
Yeah, so that would just be my suggestion. It seems like it's temporary, so just go for the lipo. Scenario 3. Jonetta was invited to a housewarming party with her old college friends. She had originally lost touch with them because they seemed so vain all those years ago. When she arrived at the location, she was surprised to find that they were throwing a Botox party. Should she leave the event or participate in injecting her face with bacteria that causes botulism?
That's not a loaded question at all, Khalil. You're so funny.
I'm just stating facts, though. I didn't this is just
to clarify to people what Botox is. Yes,
yes. Yeah. It wasn't like I just said, just made up fairy tales and stuff.
If only.
Yeah.
So interesting. I'm actually surprised that she was surprised, because if she thought they were vain, then that makes sense that they were throwing a Botox party.
Really? But it's a housewarming party. Why does that have to be involved? Why couldn't it just
If they were vain, then that makes sense then, right? Like,
they couldn't just give away gift bags with makeup in it or something?
Maybe it could have been.
So it could have been a lot of things.
But I wouldn't be surprised. I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
You wouldn't? Oh, that just seems so weird to me.
Then I'd be like that.
But I don't understand it. Yeah, I don't come from that world, so that completely would blow my mind.
So I would say she wouldn't necessarily have to leave the party as long as she wasn't being unduly influenced to have botulism or to have the Botox injected in her face. Like no one's going to hold you down and inject you. So as long as that doesn't happen and she doesn't feel like her life or her, safety is being threatened, then because that's
by these needles. I mean, it's just a needle. I don't think
that's where my mind goes.
I'm pretty sure it's not that extreme.
It goes to like a horror scene and it's like people are coming at you like shoot your face, shoot your face, shoot your face.
That'd be a funny horror film.
It would be a really hilarious horror film.
Yeah.
A real nightmare, actually. So I would say as long as her safety is not in danger at all, then she's welcome to enjoy the party and she's welcome to tell people, no, I will not join in the fun, but I'm really happy to see you friends again. So that's my stay at the party, have fun, don't get the needle shot in your face if that's not what you want.
Okay. Mm-hmm. This one, I tend to agree that she probably should stay because I think it's optional to get the Botox. It's not a requirement to enter. Then you should be okay then with doing this. Because they say that's your ticket to this event. Is you take this first. You got to get the shot in the face before we let you in. Then you could say, "Well, I'm not entering."
Yeah, that's wildly inappropriate.
And you don't want them like you said. Hopefully, they're not like sneaking around the corner and stabbing you in the face with it and say, "Gotcha." Yeah. You thought you weren't getting it, but now you are.
Oh gosh, that'd be so scary.
Or you're just laying down. You look up and there's a needle in your cheek. You say, "What happened?"
That's awesome.
Say, "Well, you signed up for this when you walked in."
Yeah, that would be.
As long as it's not something weird like that, then I think it's okay to stay at an event just because you're not doing. Because they could, let's say they were doing hookah there, she should be okay with that too. You don't have to do the hookah.
Oh well, yeah. There's so many different ways you could have gone with that one, but
hookah
or other types of parties is what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, you could go towards that, but I'm trying to be realistic now. I'm not trying to be like. I'm not trying to get into some weird place that happens.
Yes.
Things happen. Like that's something different.
Yes.
This is a housewarming, remember, so.
This is for children.
Yeah, well.
Not with the Botox.
I mean, the Botox is there, so probably not.
Mm-hmm. Fan-freaking-tastic. Well, it looks like we are at that time again. It is coming to the end of our 185th episode of WokeNFree. Oh my. Quite the episode discussing would you ever have plastic surgery? Now, will we leave you hanging for what our next episode will be about? Drum roll, please.
On our next episode, we'll be doing another WokeNFree story time called 21 Questions About Humor. Make sure you follow us on social media to follow along in the conversation, and make sure you tune in next week for WokeNFree Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
If you'd like to be a guest on our show, please submit a topic for an upcoming episode or share how you feel on our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. How is that spelled? That is WokenFree.com. Now, again, hit us up on social medias for places like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, TikTok. Guys, we're everywhere at WokeNFree. And then, of course, any sponsorships or collaborations, we'd love to chat. Hit us up on our Contact Us page at WokenFree.com.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do. Share the episode. Make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for WokeNFree Wednesdays. Remember, WokeNFree is more than a podcast. It is a way of life. Until next time.
You know it, y'all.